Hello, welcome to a new tutorial presented by DSA Charles AB. In this tutorial, we are going to see the connective tissues of the upper limb. To see the connective tissue of the upper limb, we need to increase the connective tissues of the upper limb. So we have all these connective tissues. These are all the connective tissues involved in the upper limb. Now, at first point, we have this connective tissue. So this connective tissue is going to be called the anterior sternoclavicular ligament. So this particular ligament here is going to be called anterior sternoclavicular ligament, connecting the clavicle to the sternum. So you need to hide it in order to visualize what is underneath. Now, to visualize what's underneath, when you come closer, you realize that this is instead, you have the anterior sternoclavicular ligament, and posteriorly here, you have the posterior sternoclavicular ligament. So you need to hide it. Now, this ligament is the one connecting. So when you come closer, you have this particular ligament which is connecting to the clavicle to both sides. This is called the interclavicular ligament. So it's connect this clavicle with this particular clavicle. So we see already from the name that we're going to connect this particular clavicle with this other clavicle, and so the name interclavicular ligament. So now we can hide it. Now, initially, I told you that the clavicle was having a groove underneath here, and that was a groove for the costoclavicular ligament. And now, this ligament here is exactly the costoclavicular ligament, which is connecting the ribs, the costal, which is connecting the cartilage of these ribs, of the first rib. Connecting the cartilage of the first rib. This cartilage is called the costal cartilage. The costal cartilage of the first rib to the clavicle. This is why it is called costal cartilage to the ribs, costoclavicular ligament. Now, after visualizing all the ligaments located at this side, we have the ligaments located at this side, the terminal side here. Now, this particular ligament here is going to be called the trapezoid ligament. So the trapezoid ligament is a ligament, and the trapezoid ligament, we have two ligaments here. We have the coracoacromial ligament. This is the coracoacromial ligament, and this is the trapezoid ligament with this other ligament is going to be called the trapezoid. You have two ligaments here. Now, you need to know that this ligament here is connecting the coracoid process to the clavicle, and the ligament connecting the coracoid process clavicle is just called the coracoaclavicular ligament. So the coracoaclavicular ligament is this particular ligament here, and there's a groove on the clavicle that is going to take the connection. Now, you need to know that there are two ligaments of the coracoaclavicular ligament. So there are two ligaments of coracoaclavicular ligament. There exists this ligament which is going to be called the trapezoid ligament, and there's another one which is going to be called the conoid ligament. So the coracoaclavicular ligament has two ligaments in it, clavicular ligament and conoid ligament. So this one here is going to be the conoid ligament. So this is the coracoaclavicular ligament. So you have this coracoaclavicular ligament, there is this one which is the trapezoid ligament, and there is this other one which is the conoid ligament. So all of them are the coracoaclavicular ligament. And here you have a bursa, coracoaclavicular bursa, in order to prevent friction between the coracoid process and the clavicle. Now, at this portion here, we have the coracoacromial ligament. So it's going to connect between these two portions. So, and it's also going to maintain the shoulder joint. So we are going to have a capsule at this portion. We have the acromoclavicular ligament. So acromoclavicular ligament is going to connect between the clavicle and the acromion. So you can hide it to visualize what's inside. So at the inside portion, now you visualize a capsule. So there's a capsule now between the clavicle and the acromion. So now if you remove the capsule, there's normally supposed to be a synovial sheath here. So you're supposed to find the synovial sheath. So you have a small articular disc. Normally, you have to know that there exists articular disc at this portion of the sternoclavicular. There are certain joints in the body where you have articular disc. The two main joints in the body that have articular disc are: number one, you have the sternoclavicular, you have the temporomandibular joint, and this is the sternoclavicular joint. These are the two main joints, movable joints, which have articular disc. Now the other joints which have articular disc are found in the vertebral column, and those joints are called the intervertebral joint. The intervertebral joints have a disc which is consisting of the nucleus pulposus and the annulus fibrosus. Now we also see that there's a small disc which is located here, which is called the articular disc of acromioclavicular ligament. Now this part here is going to be a subacromial bursa. I initially said that they are called the subcutaneous acromial bursa. That is subcutaneous acromial bursa, and this one is in order to prevent friction between the bone and the deltoid muscle. This one is in order to prevent the subacromial bursa. This is the supraacromial bursa, subcutaneous acromial bursa, and this is the subacromial bursa. And this one is to prevent friction between the supraspinatus and the clavicle with the other bones. So now we visualize again this bursa here. This bursa is a subdeltoid bursa, so it prevents also from friction of the bones with the deltoid. This bursa here is a coracobrachialis bursa. It prevents from the coracobrachialis friction. This bursa here is the subtendinous bursa of the teres major. So you have for teres major here. So now let's visualize the ligaments which are holding the glenoid, the glenohumeral joint. Now we have the coracohumeral ligament. So from the coracoid process, to the head of the humerus. So we have the coracohumeral ligament. This is one of the ligaments involved. So you can hide it. To now pass to this one. This one is going to be the fibrous membrane. So you have a fibrous membrane of the glenohumeral joint. So all this around the rim is going to be a fibrous membrane of the glenohumeral joint. We can hide it. We are now going to have this other ligament here. This is a superior glenohumeral ligament. We have the superior glenohumeral ligament. We have this other one, which is the middle glenohumeral ligament, and this other one, which is the inferior glenohumeral ligament. You need to know that if there is dislocation of the arm, the dislocation of the arm can easily occur outward and upward. So dislocation of the arm can easily occur posteriorly and superiorly. So this is the direction of the dislocation, because anteriorly you see that there is a superior, there is a middle, and there is the inferior glenohumeral ligament. The inferior only goes to the inferior side, so this side here is more prone for dislocation. So now all around here you have the capsule, you have the synovial membrane having the capsule of the glenohumeral joint. Now this one here is the transverse humeral ligament, which is holding up the tendon. You have the tendon of the tendon of the bicep, which passes in the intertubercular groove. So you are supposed to have a sheet here with synovial fluid, which makes sure that there should not be friction with the bone. Now after visualizing all those on the shoulder joint, we can now pass to the elbow joint. Now on the elbow joint, we have this different ligament. This ligament here is going to be called the fibrous capsule of the humeral ulnar joint. So the humeral ulnar joint is a fibrous capsule. After it, you have a joint, a ligament, the annular ligament, which is found at the level of the head of the radius. We know that this annular ligament is very important because you know that the head of the radius is the one which is movable. So if the head of the radius moves too vigorously, it may come out of the sheath. So this annular ligament holds the head of the radius so that it should not be pulled out of the sheath. So posteriorly here, you see that you have this particular sheath is used for the bicep, so it's used for the tricep. You know that the subcutaneous olecranon here is such that it should not do friction. The tricep should not do friction with the skin above. Now you have this other one, the subtendinous bursa for the tricep, so that it should not do a friction with the bone below. So we have this. So after visualizing this, we can hide above here to visualize what's inside. Inside here we have this capsule here. So we have the fibrous capsule, the synovial membrane. So we can hide the synovial membrane and visualize what is inside. What is inside is at the articular surfaces. So we can hide this. So these are the different articular surfaces. When we hide this, we have this one, which is a radial collateral ligament of the elbow, still trying to hold the radius in place. So that's why the radius is very important. Now you can now pass and we see this. This one is the interosseous membrane, and the interosseous membrane fixes the ulna and the humerus together, so that there should not be a mild translocation in their motions. So that it should be fixed together. So that's the role of interosseous membrane. Now coming to the carpal bones, you have this one here. This one here is a palmar carpal ligament. Palmar carpal ligament here. So you have this palmar carpal ligament. So we can hide it and visualize inside. So now inside you see that there are many bursae and many sheets which are covering the different tendons. This particular sheet is covering the adductor longus and the extensor pollicis brevis. So these two sheets here, adductor longus and extensor pollicis brevis. This sheet here is going to cover, this particular sheet here is going to cover the flexor carpi radialis. This sheet here is covering the flexor pollicis longus. This sheet here is covering the common flexor sheet. So we have all the common flexor sheet are passing through this sheet, and they can present themselves inside here. This place here is the transverse carpal ligament. So it's at this portion, this hole which is going to be formed here when they enter is going to be the flexor retinaculum. So at this portion here, this hole which is going to enter here is going to be a flexor retinaculum, and the median nerve is also the characteristic of the flexor retinaculum, because the median nerve passes inside here. When somebody has a carpal tunnel syndrome, you realize that it's going to have a signs of median nerve compression. So at the level, and the signs are going to be at the level of the hand. So now you have this other ligament here, the palmar radio-ulnar ligament. Palmar radio-ulnar ligament, in order to hold the ulna and the radius together. We have this other ligament, the fibrous membrane distal to radio-ulnar ligament, and we have this other sheet here. This sheet here is for the carpal ulnaris muscles. So now you have again this sheet here is for the palmar aponeurosis. Initially told you that if you look your hand, you realize that your hand is very tough, and this is because of the palmar aponeurosis. Here you have this one, the palmar aponeurosis transverse fiber. You have this other one, the deep palmar metacarpal metatarsal ligament. We have again this one here is going to be called the retinacular ligament. So we have the retinacular ligament here. Now see on the posterior side, we instead have this. This is the extensor hood, and the extensor hood is on which the extensor digitum is going to bind to, is going to insert into. So in order to do a complete extension of the fingers, so this is going to be the extensor hood. Most of the extensors of the fingers are going to directly bind on the extensor hood of the finger. So when we hide this, we are going to go internally, and you can visualize the different articular capsules which are involved here. So this one here, which is going lateral and going posterior, is the oblique retinacular ligament. So from here we visualize all the different connective tissues which are involved now with the upper limb. So from here you can say thanks for your kind attention. Don't forget to like and subscribe for Science Video Makers. Thank you.